Good evening, welcome back, and thank you for spending a little time with us. It's the very last day of September, hours away from the month of October and your weekend, maybe even more importantly, a beautiful forecast for most of your weekend. A very slow and low pressure system, if you will, moving on off to the northeast before it does so, giving us a slight chance of some showers for your weekend. I'll tell you when and where, maybe, and roughly how much, but more sunshine and warm air than that chance of showers in store for the weekend. Of course, with the Apple Festival going on and a lot of other activities, including many on our community calendar, it is going to be an active weekend for many, and it's going to be a pretty nice weekend weather-wise. I'll give you more details in just a few moments. Headlines tonight on the program for this 30th day of September will include indictments returned by a Magallanes County grand jury on yesterday, several involving several cases of sexual abuse of a child under the age of 12. Also, one indictment against a former Magallanes County middle school teacher who is charged with one count of attempted use of an electronic means to induce a minor into sexual activity. We'll have some other indictments as well. Several arrests from the Back Branch area, one serious drug-related arrest, meth, other drugs were seized, and Magallanes County is now considered to be officially a work-ready community in progress. It's a very big deal. A lot of hard work has gone into it, and that's where we'll begin our local news, as well as some other information that I have and other stories in just a few moments. Sadly, before we can cover that, we have to report a fatal house fire. It's taken place in neighboring Knott County, near the Knott-Floyd County line in the Lackey community. All we know at this time, per reports from the area, is that two people have been confirmed dead, and sadly we believe them to be two small boys who were inside the structure and unable to be rescued or get out of the house safely. We know it happened sometime around 5 o'clock this morning in Lackey. Jeff Blair, the coroner for Knott County, has sent the bodies to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy and formal ID. Their names have not been released pending that information. We have confirmed that the mother and stepfather of the two little boys, as well as another child, all made it out of the house, we believe, safely or without suffering any fatal injury. The Kentucky State Police and arson investigators are looking into the cause. Right now, electrical problems are suspected, but they have not been confirmed. But once again, two small boys, their ages at this time I do not have, but believed to have died in an early morning house fire in neighboring Knott County. Switching gears and coming back here to Magallanes County, a work-ready community. That's a certification. That is a measure of a county's workforce quality. It's an assurance to businesses and to industry alike that the community is committed to providing the highly skilled workforce required in today's global economy. And with months of hard work by many individuals here on the local level, including Angela Skaggs, the Magallanes County High School's district curriculum supervisor, and Vince Minix, who coordinates the Career and Technical Center at the Magallanes County High School, Magallanes County is one huge step closer to that distinction after proudly being declared a work-ready community in progress during this ceremony yesterday at the Magallanes County Health Department.
Well, hopefully that we'll soon be a work-ready community. The school systems and the rest of the stakeholders in the area, we're working to establish some areas where we can get our people to work, our dislocated workers, our students, and just people in general. We've lost a lot of work. We've lost a lot of people that just have not been able to get back to work. So hopefully with these initiatives that the governor is putting out, that we can take advantage of them and put our people back to work. We're in a process right now through the schools where we're applying for a grant, this Work Ready Initiative grant. Hopefully that we can get this finished up, that we can start investing in our schools, in our community. Then hopefully in another 6 months when this opens up again, we're going to apply for more to maybe help improve our some of our buildings and structures, where we can offer more opportunities for people in our community to take advantage of getting some additional education. This Work Ready in Progress is just the opening the door up for us.
Minix described the program as an opportunity that we have to take advantage of, just as most all of our neighboring counties have realized. He also noted that the school system is already working with the Logan Corporation in building a premier program, a premier welding program for students and for our displaced coal miners alike, as well as a nurse aid training program and some other initiatives and ideas. We learned from the state representative on the Work Ready Communities program that Magoffin County joins 44 other counties or communities which are now designated as a Work Ready Community in Progress, and those are in addition to the 32 counties which have achieved the full Work Ready Community status. He also says that Work Ready is already being seen as much more than just a label.
I talked to a county and they told me a site selector would not look at any county that wasn't either work ready in progress or work ready. So your work is very important, because that's what site selectors, they want to see, that you're working on the workforce and that you're working together as a group. I want to congratulate you for becoming work ready in progress. There are some areas that by working together you can raise the bar up and then become work ready. But and I also appreciate you having a celebration, because it is a celebration in order to meet this goal, because a little less than half the counties in Kentucky have not done it yet. They haven't started the progress, so you're ahead of them.
We've got to have the opportunities for our children to be successful, pathways for them to reach and achieve the goals that they want out of life and what we want out of life. And to be successful in life doesn't necessarily mean you have a diploma on the wall, but it doesn't hurt. But to be successful in life, you have to have an education, and you've got to have an opportunity. And I don't want to see our talented people have to leave this area in this community. And one thing that this kind can do for us as a community, it will enable us to be able to reach out and achieve some of these goals of keeping our good people within this area and taking advantage of the things we have to offer. We have some of the most talented people, talented workforce that there is.
Now officially becoming a work-ready community in progress is a distinction that puts Magoffin County ahead of over 50% of other Kentucky counties. And from here, they'll be up for review in about 2 years to see that they have completed everything that they said they would in order to become a work-ready community. That means meeting certain criteria such as graduation rates, completing skills, and other programs. For high-speed internet starting at 15 meg for all of your gaming, movie, home, and business solutions, or to watch TV, including your favorite local channels without a contract, with hundreds of channels and digital and HD quality, and to stay connected 24/7 with friends and family, a direct line to 911, or to give your business the link it needs, choose telephone service you know is always there. Just click on their link on this site to find out how affordable the latest technology in communications can be. Foothills Communications. From the Magoffin County Courthouse, a case involving a Magoffin County man who faced several years in prison for assault and other charges and now appears to be over after reaching a plea agreement with prosecutors just yesterday. He has since been freed after giving credit for over 240 days served. In the case of the Commonwealth versus John Raymond Allen, J.R. Allen, he was initially charged with assault in the first degree, a Class B felony, leaving the scene of an accident, as well as criminal mischief in the first degree and being a persistent felony offender for an incident that took place on the Conley farm on the 29th day of January of this year, in which he ran over a Tim May, leaving him for dead in the parking lot. May left with life-threatening injuries, while Allen was later apprehended and taken into custody by the Magoffin County Sheriff's Department, according to court documents, after a plea agreement has been reached. Allen has been given credit for 241 days for time served, while count 1 and count 2, that of assault in the first degree and leaving the scene of the accident, were dismissed, as well as count 4, the persistent felony offender charge, also being dismissed. As part of the plea agreement, in which he was released from custody yesterday from the Big Sandy Detention Center, he was also ordered not to have any contact with the victim. Our headlines tonight: a traffic stop on Back Branch late last night, technically early this morning in Magoffin County, led to a serious drug-related arrest involving crystal meth and other illegal narcotics and drugs. And paraphernalia seized. And while police were in that vicinity, they also received other information and tips that led them to at least 2 residences in that area, and a total of 5 arrests took place on Back Branch before police cleared that area. Trooper Zach Haney, Trooper Hale of the Kentucky State Police, and Magoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Reggie Gosser all made several arrests last night, beginning with the most significant, we believe, drug-related, which netted a Magoffin County man in jail on, I believe, well over a dozen separate charges. Kentucky State Police Trooper Zach Haney made the initial traffic stop on a vehicle that was driven and being operated by 46-year-old Jerry Shepard. By the end of that stop, he had charged Shepard with over a dozen offenses, including possession of methamphetamine. In fact, he was charged with possession of a controlled substance in the first, that being methamphetamine, 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance in the first for an unspecified drug, a count of possession of a controlled substance in the 3rd degree for an unspecified drug, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, 3 counts of a prescription not in its proper container, driving under the influence, driving on a suspended license, and several traffic infractions, including no seatbelt, no registration receipt, and others. Items seized as a part of the investigation: a significant quantity of crystal meth, also marijuana, and several different prescription pills not in their original container. Before authorities left the Back Branch area, they had also arrested a total of 5 individuals. In addition to Shepard, they took into custody 33-year-old Alvin Ratliff at a residence, charged with resisting arrest, possession of drug paraphernalia, and a probation violation on a felony charge. He was arrested by Trooper Hale of the Kentucky State Police, while 2 other individuals in the same residence were both arrested, that being a Melissa Ratliff and an Elmer Ratliff, charged with hindering apprehension for lying to authorities or not telling them where the suspect they were looking for was in the home. Just a quick reminder, or 2 or 3, about some special events happening this first weekend of October, all brought to you on your Magoffin County Farm Bureau sponsored community calendar. First, your invitation to join everyone at the Stinson United Baptist Church this Sunday, started to say tomorrow. I don't want to get that far ahead of myself. This Sunday evening at 6 for their fellowship meeting. Sunday evening, everyone's invited to come and join everyone at Stinson United Baptist. Another reminder that if you want to be one of the vendors who set up a table at the Christmas in November Arts and Crafts Show in the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center in Sagersville, you've got until October the 28th to register, but the sooner the better. You can also be a part of the show if you register, the show being November the 4th and 5th, by calling 349-4409 or 349-2213. A reminder, they're picking and grinning tomorrow evening at 7 with Anointed Hearts at Kearney Free Will Baptist Church. And that tomorrow is also the annual Harvest Festival at the Lakefront Church of God on Route 30. You can't miss them, and it will be a day full of gospel music, a hog roast, an auction, prizes, crafts, carnival games, and more. All sorts of Appalachian crafts and Appalachian demonstrations. Just the list goes on, with horse rides, bounce houses, baked goods, their famous country store, Dutch oven cooking, and more. It's Harvest Festival time at the Lakefront Church of God tomorrow. And there's always time to share and spread your announcement, birthday or anniversary wishes as well. All you have to do is tell me so we can tell everyone else about it. Here's how you can always get it on the show. And remember, our news is always on our website at yournewstoday.com. And one last announcement brought to you by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. A funeral service reminder in honor of 77-year-old Basil Howard of Lick Creek, who passed away Thursday. Survived by his wife Betty Ann Williams, sons Holly Ray and Jeffrey Howard. Visitation will continue this evening. I know I have our arrangements incomplete. My apologies on the screen. I didn't correct that from yesterday. Nevertheless, a visitation is ongoing all day tomorrow as well as this evening. And then prior to Sunday services, they'll start at 11 o'clock, all from the Bloomington United Baptist Church. Once again, visitation tonight, tomorrow, and up until services Sunday in honor of 77-year-old Basil Howard. The Magoffin County Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Several indictments were returned yesterday by the sitting Magoffin County Grand Jury. Several of those indictments relate to more than one case of sexual abuse involving a victim or victims under the age of 12. Another case is that against a former Harold Whitaker Middle School PE teacher who has been relieved of his duty for the past several months after now being officially indicted on a charge of using an electronic means to induce a minor into sexual activity. Of the 6 indictments which were returned yesterday by the sitting Magoffin County Grand Jury, the first reported tonight is that of the Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Charles Allen Skaggs. 39-year-old Allen Skaggs, a former employee of the Magoffin County School District, who was indicted on a single charge of attempted unlawful use of electronic means to induce a minor to engage in sexual activities. While Skaggs was not identified by authorities or by the school at the time of the investigation beginning, he has since been named in yesterday's indictment that alleges on or around the 1st day of March and on or around the 12th day of May in 2016, he committed the offense of attempted unlawful use of an electronic means to induce a minor to engage in sexual activities when he used an electronic communication system, being his phone, via text messaging for the purpose of inducing a minor child to engage in sexual activities. That charge of attempted unlawful use of electronic means to induce a minor to engage in sexual activities is a Class A misdemeanor, and therefore, since the indictment contains misdemeanor charges and not felony charges, it was ordered that this matter, pursuant to Kentucky statute, shall be remanded and docketed back down into the Magoffin County District Court system for further proceedings, and not to be presented before Kim Childers, Magoffin County Circuit Court Judge, meaning the case will now be before Judge Dennis Prater. The case stems from events that led up to May the 12th, when a student who reportedly saw some text messages between Skaggs and a female student in the school, and then informed an adult about those texts, and then that adult informing the school system. The investigation soon began after Kentucky State Police responded to the call. Skaggs was employed at the time as a middle school physical education teacher. He also served as a volunteer coach for the girls' softball team, as he had for some time. He had also, in his several years of employment with the Magoffin County school system, been an elementary girls basketball coach and served in other various coaching positions since being employed sometime around 2001. His current status is that he is still suspended, as he was at the beginning of the investigation, without pay until the case is settled. It was also stipulated that he have no contact with the school or any students in the school system. In other indictments, 3 individuals are facing sexual abuse-related charges in 2 separate cases. The first involving 24-year-old Dustin McKenzie, whose address was listed as East Maple Street here in Sagersville, indicted on 2 counts, the first being sexual abuse in the 1st degree, the second criminal abuse in the 2nd degree, a victim under the age of 12. And in fact, both charges pertain to a victim, the same victim, it appears as though, who was under the age of 12. After social services testified before the grand jury, he was indicted on count 1. That says on or around the 25th and 26th days of February of this year here in Magoffin County, McKenzie committed the offense of sexual abuse in the 1st degree when he subjected another person to sexual contact who was incapable of consent because they were less than 12 years of age. Count 2 applies to the same dates, the same victim, that being that he committed the crime of criminal abuse in the 2nd degree with a child under the age of 12 when he intentionally abused a child or permitted another person of whom he had custody to be abused. 2 other people from Sagersville are also facing charges of sexual abuse related to a victim under the age of 12. The first being 21-year-old Andrew T. Salyer of Route 7, Mason Creek Road here in Sagersville, who, according to Trooper Ryan Hale with the Kentucky State Police, who testified before the grand jury, committed the acts on around the 19th day of August and the 20th day of September, both of 2015, when the defendant, Andrew Salyer, committed the offense of sexual abuse in the 1st degree when he subjected another person to sexual contact who was incapable of consent because the victim was less than 12 years of age. Facing charges in the same case is 38-year-old Rebecca Wicks, also of Route 7 and Mason Creek in Sagersville, who was indicted by the same grand jury after testimony from the same trooper, Ryan Hale, indicated that she knew or assisted in the sexual abuse. She was charged with complicity of sexual abuse in the 1st degree when, while being aware of the sexual abuse that was ongoing, she allowed Andrew Salyer to subject another person to sexual contact, that victim being less than 12 years of age. Our last report tonight comes real quickly as we're getting close to our call here as far as time is concerned from Licking Valley RECC. And around the same time that this low pressure starts to work its way out of the area is when it could leave a few showers behind. Right now, we'll talk about tonight. 74 right now if you're catching the early show. 50 is where we should fall to. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Pretty nice into your Friday with some still clouds out there that will give way to some sunshine tomorrow. Look for some fog late tonight, fog early in the morning, and fog basically night and morning throughout your weekend. But tomorrow on your Saturday, look for some partly sunny skies tomorrow, a high near 70, and we'll see that 20% chance of showers. I'm thinking it's going to be late Saturday night and early Sunday when that front starts to pull out of here, giving us, albeit a slight chance of some showers. Late Saturday night, early to mid-Sunday, and it's only a slight chance, so look for that. But also look for some sun as well as 70 on your Saturday, 73 on your Sunday, and the mid and upper 70s all week long, for the most part at least. Monday 76, Tuesday 79, Wednesday 78, Thursday 77. We've got another front that rolls in by Friday of next week. Might give us some rain chances and some lower temperatures, but for the most part, some really nice fall weather in store. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. Whatever you do this weekend, this first weekend in October, whether it's taking in the Apple Festival, any of the other events that I had on tonight's community calendar, or just sitting back and enjoying a little rest and relaxation, we wish you well and wish you to see us back here next week for more of Your News Today. Good night and good weekend, and thanks for being a part of the show.